It is so hot. I'm literally melting. Look, I just put this shirt was clean like 2 hours ago. Like I just took a shower, and it's just all the sweat. This is from me having to turn off the fans because the audio is terrible with the fans on. It really is. And I guess what I should do is I should get some more, dynamic mics, because like my audio interface, it has like an instrument switch on it, which I'm not sure what that is. But I noticed that when I turn it on, it sounds a lot better with, like okay, maybe I'm just imagining things. I don't know. We'll see. But it does seem to cut back a little bit. But it might also be because of the fact I'm using that dynamic mic for the first time as an instrument mic. And that could have something to do with it. Not sure. But but yeah, I'm sweating. I'm sweating fucking, well, we say like a stuffed pig, but pigs don't sweat. That's the reason why they waddle around in the mud. Pigs are smart animals, by the way. They're like a dog, but even sneakier than like my beagle was. I've done some I would say hillbilly Americans in the past who live kind of on the outskirts. One of the major cities that I've spent a lot of time around, like Charlotte or Atlanta. And people who keeping hogs is actually quite popular. Like chickens is a thing with the hippies, but with the fucking rednecks or the hicks or whatever it is, the good old Southern people, they like to keep hogs. And sometimes they're giant fucking hogs. I mean, these things are like fucking 600-700 pound fucking behemoths, man. They look like fucking hippos. And sometimes they're little cute little potbelly ones, But yeah, and they waddle around in the mud because they can't sweat. It's like a dog can't sweat either. That's why they pant. But it's like something that's like that has to do with their temperature management. It's kind of like, that's one of those things we say, sweat like a pig, but pigs don't sweat. And people think pigs aren't do that because they're just filthy. It's like, no, it's because they're actually quite intelligent animal. I would love to have a pet pig. I really would. Like I don't know if you grew up in the 80s, but they had that show Designing Women, and Delta Burke, remember, she had a little pet potbelly pig, and I was like, do you know how much like attention I would get from women if I was walked around town with a fucking little potbelly pig on a leash? They'd be like, oh my god, he's so cute, what's his name? Bacon. And they're like, well, that's kind of cute too, but yeah, I'm trying some new settings on, my Isles bot and my OBS or OSB, whatever the fuck it's called. There was some kid online that like had a thing about how to maximize the settings, and so I tried. In order for me to reset everything inside there to turn off the HDR. And I don't know, on my screen, well, I'm not real happy with this screen, though, because it's a VA screen. I don't trust what it looks like. I got a new one coming. It's supposed to be here yesterday, and I was a little upset about that because I don't like change. Like, that's one thing about people who are on the spectrum is that we don't like when shit gets interrupted. Like, we're expecting it on this day. I ordered that, I spent 2 hours, 2.5, 3 hours on your fucking website trying to weigh my options, like, what do y'all got there? Okay, I don't really trust whatever you have in stock. So, what do you got that's be here soon? And then I saw an MSI screen. And they're considered a name brand. And, it's an IPS screen. It's a 24-inch, it's 144 hertz refresh rate. It's not an HDR10, but from what I understand, I think I need a heavier duty computer to really enjoy that anyway. And I was wondering, why is it I like the results of my other one? Seems like it's much more crisp. It's much more accurate looking than this one. It's like, my Ozbot looked better on the other screen, even though it's like half the size of this one. And I figured out it's because it's IPS. And I want to say, I think it's 100 hertz refresh rate, but it has something to do with like the contrast ratio on that one's like 1200 to 1 versus this one's like 5000 to 1 or something like that. What I'm ordering is 1500 to 1. And apparently, a really high ratio is not necessarily good depending on what you prefer. So, yeah, I just thought it would be a lot higher quality screen as it was not. And but it's the same price. But the thing is it said it's going to be here yesterday, right? So I'm sitting here on Friday night, think it's going to be there in the morning, And here's the thing: Walmart rarely fucks up stuff like that. Like sometimes their drivers are a little lazy. Like they go to the wrong entrance. They don't pay attention. I got to walk all the way around the fucking building because I don't like going out through the front door. I like to use it. I'm a back door man, so I like to go out the back door. For a reason, we have like a little. At the end of my hallway, I'm on the second floor. We have like a staircase that goes all the way down, and it's like it's more private. It's not. It's I don't know. It's because of shit from when I first moved in here, and the people who thought they were going to turn us into a fucking cult, keep us under their mind control, and oh my god, they picked the worst fucking people. They fuck with someone who has autism. Not only has autism, but one of those people who's a stubborn motherfucker that refuses to give in to some psychopath. And it's like, yeah, I know. See, sweetheart, here's the problem. You're crazy, but I'm autistic. Autism always kicks the flying shit out of crazy. See, we're not crazy, but we're actually kind of worse in some ways. So it's like we're sane. So we can go about it in the same way, but we will go about with even more obsessive intensity than a fucking delusional person would. So I don't like go out the front door. It's just kind of like what I've gotten used to. So I don't like change. But they'll fuck out of that from time to time. But I'm sitting here, and then late on Friday night, I get a thing that says, "We're sorry, your order's been delayed." I'm like, delayed? Okay. And I'm sitting going, what do you mean delayed? Like it won't be there till later? Because like it's the same day. It's supposed to be here tomorrow. I'm like, how the fuck is it delayed already? It'd be one thing if it's like around the time it's supposed to get here, so sorry, your package will be delayed. It won't be here till late this evening or, tomorrow morning. And it's like, so I'm not sure what's going on. So I get on the customer service thing. I call them up, and then they have a thing where they can call you, and then like this dude is like, and he's like a total vato. He's like, hey, take a look on it, Walmart, man. Like, let me your monitor, man. Like, yeah, man. Like, where is it, man? Did y'all rip off this shit I ripped off, man? Like, it was funny as shit. But yeah, he was like total. He sounded like he was totally from LA. Like he is about those like. Hopefully they're not like people that they've deported down to El Salvador. They got them work a call center or something, out of that fucking detention place. And he's like, man, I'm sorry for the inconvenience, man, but I tell you what, I'll give you a $10 gift card, for your promo code. And he sent me a thing, so I got $10 off another purchase. And then the next day I got one, and it said it'll be here today. And I'm like, how the fuck? You said it was going to be late. It said it'd be here by tomorrow. Now you're saying it's going to be here today, which is tomorrow. I ordered it Friday. I got that Saturday. I'm looking at it. I'm like, wait a minute. It says it's coming from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. I'm like, what the fuck? It usually comes out of Connecticut. So it's like, I guess their distribution center, the closest one I got is in Connecticut, and I think they just make like a nightly or daily run. Like as long as you order by a certain time, it'll be at the depot, whatever distribution place they got here by a certain time, and they got like a local driver that just takes all the, deliveries. Not like the ones where you order up, and you can have it delivered like at a scheduled time. If they don't say what time it'll be, it'll just be that day. But I get it almost always before noon. But it's not like a FedEx. I don't think it's FedEx or whatever, but this time it is. And so I was kind of confused, because I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So this time I decided to do the chat thing. And I got a guy named Rahul. He's probably an Indian dude. He's real nice though. And so I'm like, yeah, this thing says that, I'm receiving it today, but yesterday it said it's going to be delayed. So now it's saying it's not going to be delayed. I'm going to receive it today. So am I receiving this today, or am I receiving this, when they said I would get it, like delayed like another day? And I said, but here's the thing. I know they're full of shit. And here's the thing. I love it because whenever I talk to these people, I talk to them worse than I do here. Like, I do not like censor anything. I do not hold back. Like, I call bullshit on that. Ain't no fucking way that thing's coming from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania to me today. Bullshit. I said, if it was going to be here today, it would have left, Connecticut last night. I said, so somebody's lying to me. Why is this thing saying that? But plus, the other thing that got me was they gave me a FedEx tracking number, right? And every time I ran through the FedEx system, it said, can't find it. Doesn't exist. And I'm like, what the fuck? Is there a conspiracy about my fucking computer monitor? It's just an $80 monitor. What the fuck? It's not that big of a deal. Can I just get my shit? So I'm still waiting on it because I'm getting a new one. I'll make sure I like it before I send this one back. Because I think I'm going to send this one back. Even if I wanted to have two 24-inch monitors, which I probably don't need, I would still rather have an IPS. I realize I don't like that. There's a certain type of look with the VA screen versus IPS. And what's weird is, it depends on what you prefer. What they ought to say is, don't get the VA because it's a shittier one. It's a cheaper one. It's brighter. It's, it might be brighter. It might be whatever. Higher contrast, but it's not accurate. I'd rather have something that looks more accurate. So it's supposed to be here tomorrow. So once it gets here, I'm putting it in the fucking box. I'm gonna take it out of UPS and I'm gonna send it back to Amazon. But Rahul was like, and I was getting him shit. I was like, man, this is fucked up. Why don't y'all just tell me the truth? It's like, why don't you just say, hey, we thought it was at our closest distribution center, so it would be here tomorrow, but somebody fucked up and didn't count the right number of boxes, or our system didn't update in time or something, or we took in too many orders too close together. And there ain't one for you down there. So we got to get out of the next closest one, which is in northeastern Pennsylvania. We're really sorry about that. Here's a $20 gift certificate or something. But they didn't do that. So I had to sit there and I had to sit there and talk shit, and get this guy, bust his balls. And he was like, sir, I'm so sorry. If I could personally deliver to you today myself, I would. And I'm like, I wouldn't. I said, man, fuck that shit. People ain't worth that. I said, but, I order my shit. I do want it, but I'm just letting you know. I wouldn't say that shit because I wouldn't bring your fucking monitor to you. Hell no. I'm not putting in that kind of effort. I do not care about the customer that much. I mean, I care about the truth. I care about being honest. I care about being decent and fair. But I ain't getting up out of my fucking... I'm not putting on pants and going out in public and then driving a long distance, bring you a fucking monitor for some fucker I don't even know. So, yeah, don't say it. And at the end, he was like, he gave me like a $25, another one, so I got $35. So here's the thing, it was a $100 monitor, normally marked down to $80, and then they gave me a $10, and they gave me a $5. So I basically got that monitor for half off, already on sale because they fucked up. So I literally only paid $45 for that fucking monitor. It was like a $100 monitor. And I'm gonna send this one back, so I'm up like $35. And so I don't know. I'm not gonna waste my money on next. I'm still thinking about getting a 4K camera, but I'm not sure. But I got some of my adjustments set up, and and. I realized, I got shit in the way. Damn it. Oh, fuck it. Who cares? But yeah, I didn't realize it was that. I need to pull it forward. I was trying to get it enough so I could get, the whole, but then I realized I pushed it back far enough that now whatever. So. It don't sound bad. in my time of dying. Because I'm fucking dying over here. This heat, man. I'm gonna have a heat stroke, so I'm gonna fucking have a heart attack. Fuck, I should have got an air conditioner this year. That's what's weird is like the first year I was here in 2020, summer 2020, it was miserable. But I was just so glad to get out of that fucking shithole. Oh God, I hate fucking a new place more than anything. Well, no, I hate other things. I hate other entities, organizations, and individual people more than them. But they're the ones I hate the most recently. In my time of dying. That's the problem with the Klon pedals. For them to really sound good, you really have to crank the motherfuckers. And in some situations, it's just not always ideal to do that. So it could be difficult in a... See, it's registering over here like it's not getting enough input. But then I look over here at the dawn, it's like, yeah, it's getting plenty of fucking input. Hold on, let's see. Maybe. God damn it. I need to adjust the string heights because that's the only issue when you play slide on a Fender is you got to make sure your saddles are nice and you kind of need to set it up, you know, the saddles for slide versus like with a Gibson or like a Tune-O-Matic style. See, it just pivots one side or the other, so it's just kind of that's why I usually prefer a guitar with this kind of bridge to actually play slide on versus one where each individual, you know, saddle can be raised or lowered. It gets kind of difficult sometimes to keep, you know, shit, you know, because I have played with a kind of a light touch too. I'm also not used to playing this with this guitar so high up, and then it's kind of hard for me to like. Usually the guitar is like a little lower, like I don't play it like Johnny Depp, which, you know, don't get me wrong, love Johnny Depp to death, but I hate when I watch him play guitar because he plays guitar like a total douchebag. With his guitar, it's so low. It's like he's like, dude, you're fucking, like your string ferrules on the back of that Telecaster are like bumping into your knee. Okay, raise that fucking telly up, dude. You're in your 60s, man. Act like a grown up, man. Sometimes. I mean, he's got the heart of a child, not a violent child. Cause that bitch lied, and you know she did. I don't want to hear that fucking shit. Fucking evil bitch. Well, I wanted to really just test out how this would sound. Is what this comes down to. I just want to see, how it would turn out, and it probably, it'll probably turn out pretty good. Let's see. Now my hands are getting clumsy. Wait a minute. What is he playing in? E minor, right? This is one of those guitars that's actually kind of loud. Like my semi-hollows, both of them are like the loudest guitars I own. That fucking that old man guitar I got over there, that ES335 copy, or actually it's more like a 355 or 345. That motherfucker's loud. Every time I plug it in, I'm like, holy shit, I gotta turn it. They just are. All right, hopefully it's not have too much. Never was good at holding that Hendrix chord. That's my $25 amp Mahler pedal. The Behringer tube amp. It's just called tube amp Mahler, and it's got a Mahler for like a Fender Tweed, and a like a Marshall and a Boogie, and it's even got 3 different modes. Like it's got clean, and it's got like clean, and then like distortion, but then it's like a classic kind of distortion, and then more of a modern contemporary distortion. And it actually sounds really good if you set it up right. Who is it? Ola, will it chug? And he put that up against like a bunch of different like amp Mahler type things, or that was supposed to make it sound like a Boogie or like a high gain Marshall. And the cheapest fucking one there beat the flying shit out of everything else. I swear to God, it did like specialty pedals where it's like, it's supposed to sound like a Marshall. It's supposed to sound like a Boogie. And we'll see. Will it chug? And he's like, you know. He does. His is more intense. Plus, I think he uses heavier strings. He turns it down lower. Plus, he has. This is like a strange. It's like a type of. It's almost like a version of a burst, like a Filtertron. It's like a Filtertron, but like it's like a 13K. And I think it was an Alnico 5, but I think I put an Alnico 2 in there. Or I may have put Alnico 4. I don't know. I have to check it next time. I know this one's an Alnico 4. And I swapped out the base plate. They come with the brass ones. I've yet to find ones like this. All it really is, it's one coil off of like a high gain humbucker. They take like a coil, like, because it's like an 8 1/4 or something. So right around, actually, no, it's like, I think it's like 7, 9. So they take like whatever is like a 14 or 15, K, 40, probably like a 44 gauge, wire. They take one half of one. They take the one with the, with the actual pole pieces, the screw and pole pieces, and then they like put a little extra like a rubber ring around it for better insulation. They want it really fucking tight too. They put as much wire on that motherfucker as they can. It may be a 43 that's just super overwound. To like a 7 1/4, because usually the highest you can get with a 43 gauge is going to be somewhere just south of 13, which I think is what these are. These are like 12.5 to 13.5. So they're 43 gauge form var, and they're a little narrower and they're a little taller than your regular humbucker bobbin. So it kind of like mimics, because that's kind of what makes the Filtertrons different, is that if you notice they're a little bit smaller than humbuckers. Like, even like the length of them's a little smaller, and they're not quite as wide, but it's because they're taller. So and when you wrap a pickup taller like that, it makes them brighter and punchier. Versus if you make them fatter and wider and longer, they're going to be warmer, and they're not going to be nearly as bright. And that's what this is. This is actually kind of like fat. It's kind of tall too, and it's like that pickup, that cup, that ring will barely fit on that motherfucker. But it's like a 43 gauge or 44 gauge. It's wound out like 40 to like 7 1/4. But it's basically like borrowed a bobbin off of like a JB copy, like a JB bridge copy pickup, or like or something similar. And then there's like that, like one that copper ribbon, like almost like a copper flashing, that wraps around it, and then it's tied into the. I've seen that on like those Duncan Design ones too, and it's supposed to help make them less noisy. And it's supposed to, I guess, kind of cuts off some of the low end too. I mean, it's not a bad sound. It's not really that bad sounding. It is a little. To me, it's like it sounds like a humbucker. I mean, but with hum. I think it's I'm pretty sure it's Alnico 4, which is actually a little brighter than some people think they are. Like they actually seem less. They seem to. It seems like they're smoother, like in the low mid, and like it tapers off smoother. Like because like they say, the 4 has most evened out sounds. Like well, the 4 probably just doesn't really have a scoop in it. Because people think Alnico 2 doesn't have a scoop. It's like it does. It's just that it has a minor scoop, plus the lows and the highs are going to be a little less, just slightly quieter than an Alnico 5. And then they say that an Alnico 3 is like they said the 2 and the 4. Like if you like the 2, you might also like Alnico 4 too, because it's actually it's got a higher charge to it. So it'll be a little louder, and it might sound a little bit brighter than an Alnico 2. Like if you like Alnico 2 in the bridge, you probably like Alnico 4 in the neck. Or like if you like Alnico 5 in the neck, but you don't particularly like it in the bridge, it's like, you see what I'm saying? It's like, but Alnico 3 is like Alnico 5, but less output. And I want to say it's like, it still has that mid scoop. It's the perfect medium between 2 and 5. If you're like, well, 2s are too warm sounding, and then 5s are too brighter, they're too boomy. Like, 5s can be kind of loud on your wound E string, and it could be too bright on the, versus the E kind of evens that out, but then, your middle string will sound a little too, might be a little too warm. I can't remember how he does that. All right. Well, I mean, I think. That was a BB preamp. Now this is a SD1 Boss. And it's really just using it as like a boost. Like the output's all the way up, the input's all the way down. Tones flattened out. It does. It does have that. It does have it in between that is reminiscent of a telly because of the fact that the Filtertron does kind of help. It sounds somewhat like a telly pickup because they're going to be a little brighter, but they're also going to have more attack. Be a little. They can be punchy too. They're kind of in your face in a way, and then it's got a real warm sounding that little lipstick pickup in the neck, which I fucking hate. Those things, I really do. I've never heard a telly neck pickup that I'm just like, oh my god, I love that. You know, some of them can sound good if you take the cover off, even if they're nickel silver. If you take the cover off. If you get one that maybe somebody has an underwound one where they use 42 gauge, because I don't like that. They'll usually use 43, which then cuts off a little bit of low, a little bit of high, and it's too warm in the mid, and it's typically overwound, so that even increases it more. But a telly really is at its best. Like if you want to play country, you got your bridge pickup. It's like your perfect, Which I don't really know any country songs, other than I remember that Guitars and Cadillac intro. I mean, country and blues is actually extremely similar. It's just the way the notes are played or expressed. Country doesn't really have a lot of that. It's more like they might have a little bit of that. I got G bender or B bender. Well, I don't know if I'm even doing it right. Which is kind of weird because like Jimmy was one that kind of did that a lot. I'm on the wrong one. Oh man, I forgot to turn the fucking thing off. See, it bleeds in and it messes. I don't know. I still haven't figured out how to set that up. And I got my little purple rain. Oh, wrong one. Purple rain. Oh. Yeah, the purple's not that purple. Like, the pink looks more purple than the purple does. Probably because of my paint. I never won't leave you. See, that's kind of the problem with the light is I got to find some other way to mount it because it interferes with. It's like if I do. All right, that helps a little bit. Yeah. Ah, shit. There we go. All right, now this looks like some mood lighting right here. Let's see if we can get this bitch up. How bright does it get? I was gonna say this got like a shit. It's got a lot of range. I don't know. I'm still trying to decide how I want to set things up. I'm ordering some stuff to have some what do you call it, like flare. If you've ever been in like a TGI Fridays, it looks like especially like some pub out of the 1910s or something. Early 1890s, what it's supposed to look like, and it's like an 1890s style, which basically have a lot of shit everywhere on the walls, and that was kind of like their thing. So I'm just kind of trying to get an idea for how things look and to see how it translates to how sexy it makes me look online or whatever. Fuck me. I don't know if I can get more fucking right now. I kind of like that particular lighting, but it may not translate well on the lawn. So I wonder. Holy shit! That might be better like that. Cause this one comes off kind of warm because it's a LED. It's almost like it's like a R20 or like a R. It's like a R30. It's what the replacement is for an R30. If you want one actually as a reflector bulb, like I got those ones that look like a R30, but they're just really just one of those opaque. It's the shape of it, and it is directional, but it's opaque. This one's actually got like a glass cover on it, and it's like super. It looks like it's a real light bulb when it's just a LED bulb. It's what you would have put in like recessed lighting or can lights or whatever. God damn it. I'd rather go blind than watch you walk away from me. Y'all, you rednecks, I was going to say, you're as sweet as Tennessee whiskey. No, actually, he's playing the music of I'd Rather Go Blind with the lyrics of Tennessee Whiskey. Tennessee Whiskey, I believe, was actually written by David fucking Allen Coe, who's one of these racist motherfuckers that ever lived. he had whole albums of racism. Okay, they are kind of hilarious. I mean, I'm autistic, so I have a weird way of going, that's so fucking wrong. Actually, some of his better albums, but the problem is they're so fucking racist. And the thing is, he's not doing it as a joke or in jest or, he seriously, like, yeah, like he's like, back then you could openly be like that and still have somewhat of a career, at least, in the Southern country music. But I'm pretty sure he was one that, like Johnny Paycheck. Johnny Paycheck was probably as bad as fucking as bad as oh, you motherfucker right here. Come on. There you go. He was probably as bad as Johnny Paycheck was a fucking terrible person. He had this job and shove it. I ain't working for you no more. A woman done left to go all of the reason. And that was actually Dave Allen Coe song. He wrote, take this job and shove it. I ain't working for you no more. Woman done left. And it's actually, David Allen Coe version is better, to be honest. He wrote a lot of really good songs, but he is just a fucking horrible person, at least as far as his racism goes. But he wrote songs called like "Finger Fucking Sally," and he isn't dead. They just smell that way. And then fucking in the butt. I like to fuck the shit out of you, Dan, and I like to fuck the shit. He was like fucking Two Live Crew of hillbilly rednecks in the 70s. Like you think Two Live Crew broke ground, like with the, oh hell no, I was in the whips and things, she was in the pain. I would beat her black and blue when she called me names. It's just like about his perverted, lifestyle, which is probably mostly true. And he was one of the people. He actually did. He spent. I think he was in prison for quite a while. I want to say, was it murder or attempted murder or something? I mean, if it was murder, him getting out was kind of rare, unless he was able to get out in some sort of pardon, or I can't remember what his history was at. But he did hard time. He really was like a shit kicker, fucking redneck. Like combination biker, combination like dangerous. Southern fried hillbilly / publicly, making songs that the Klan would love. And I can't remember why I got talking about that. But yeah, I'm pretty sure he wrote Tennessee Whiskey. George Jones was probably the one who had the best version of it. Unless Chris Stapleton probably does, because of the fact that he got rid of all the hillbilly shit and put it on top of a slightly countryed up version of I'd Rather Go Blind by Ada James. And he plays, I don't know, I think it's kind of weird. But, I haven't really got a chance to, play around my telly lately. And, well, because I I keep forgetting I need to put the strap button back on it. And so I dig those out and find them and then find a strap for it. And I gotta play like an old fat guy, like a Johnny Highland. You know, he's like a. So he's gotta play it. Because normally that's the thing that I think that I have to learn how to do is that instead of trying to play on my lap like I would have in the past, which is kind of makes for a difficult angle to shoot, I just need to start, that's all it is. It's just like, it's kind of like you play the major bar chord, but instead of playing it on that, you start it on this, and you move all your fingers down one, and then you just lift up the pinky and you just leave that string open. And then there's that little. So there's the that's that chord from Kid Charlemagne. Pretty sure that's just the underlying chord, and then he plays one of the most unbelievable fucking solos you ever heard. So God Almighty, yeah, I'm just like playing around, see how things look. So some people say that's kind of the problem with OBS is that OBS is not really your friend to your HDR setting. And that probably the best thing to do is to actually go around that and just adjust all the micro settings, your pro settings or whatever. And configuration, you right click on your video capture device that you're using, and then you go to properties, click on configure. And then you'll go through this series of things, and it's like, it'll show you how to, okay, you want to turn this down, turn that up. It's actually pretty cool. I mean, these kids, I don't know how they figure this shit out. They're probably obsessed with it. And they grew up with this type of technology, so they seem to grasp it even sooner probably than. It's like if you start with new technology, like when you're coming up at that age, you're getting interested in it as it's, new, you'll probably be an expert at it. Versus people who from the previous generation will struggle. It's kind of like they say if you want to be like golf's a really difficult game. They say that's kind of the reason why Tiger Woods was so badass at golf at 21 was because he was out there playing. Like he'd been playing. His father basically forced him to play when he was like 2 years old. Like just constantly forced him into doing it. And hopefully he wanted to. or it's like musicians. Some of the greatest guitar players are people, and that's always part of their bio, is that they would never put their guitar down. You see, I didn't really start to play. I was already a little bit in my 20s. Like I desperately wanted an electric guitar, like in a late, I think it was like 87. I wanted one for Christmas, and my mom bought me one. Well, I mean, it's kind of like one of those things where I go pick it out, she pays for it, and then actually I don't know if she even wrapped it. I don't know. She's not really into sentimental shit, so oh well, fuck her. She's probably dead anyway. It was a Strat. It was like but like a generic, like $100 Strat, 125, and the thing that didn't even come from a music store. It came from like, it came from like one of those like department stores, like a Sears type maybe, or like one of the big toy stores that also carry stuff like that, like beginner guitars and stuff. Like even Best Buy started carrying shit like that some years back. It was like $100, $125, $150, and she was just so sure that like she did not encourage me at all, and I just basically pretended like I could play it and beat on it, and never was able to tune it, never did it. The thing is, she never even mentioned like taking lessons or anything. She just figured, oh, just let him fuck it up, and then he'll forget about it. And I didn't pick it up again until I was in my 20s, early 20s. And when people told me, it's like, some things you do so well for starting off, it's like, if you would have started when you were young, you could have, been really badass. And I said, yeah, probably. I mean, my mind's kind of fucked up in a way where it's hard for me to learn certain things in certain ways. I got to learn it in a retarded way, but... But like, I don't know. I just kind of wish I do, because if I was starting when I was young, I probably have a lot more, I had something to live for, probably. Like if I was in, like a moderately successful, boomer, dead rock cover band, that at least, had consistent gigs that paid well. Corporate gigs, big bars, opening of like resorts and stuff where, we don't always, we play in front of a few hundred people or a few thousand people. We have like a playlist of, shit that everybody likes. That would have been ideal. Or to be, a stand-up comedian, which I was told I should have been that. I don't know. The sexual adventure opportunities of being a musician tend to be better than being a comic. I think so. All right. Well, I gotta go because I don't think I can stand sweat anymore. I gotta turn the fans back on. When you turn the fans off, it's like it only takes like 2 minutes before you're like, oh fuck, I can feel how hot it's getting in here. And it's like, plus I have I have two separate on each end of the apartment. I got one of those dual fans. It's like a really high CFM dual fan that sucks air out. The other one over there is still on like a medium or high setting, and the one in here I had to turn down to like really low so you can't hear it. And then the one that pulls in fresh air over here I had to turn off because it's right by where my mics are. It's actually right. It's like my fan sits on top of my 1x12 cab. It's like, it's one of those vertical cabs. Well, I got set up for vertical. And that's the same one. I got a mic, down in front of it right now. And so if I want to play that and then I have that, it bleeds over too easily. I mean, if I got, a bunch of dynamic mics, and then one thing that is nice about these, which I don't know, so maybe some of the interfaces have them, but this has like a multiple, has multiple levels of noise reduction. So you can, it's like quiet. It's like 3 levels or something. Plus, I can put a nice dynamic mic on it. It's 60 dB a gain. It doesn't sound as good as this one. That's the difference. This one does sound a shitload better. And I think I reconfigured it recently because I realized that something in my configurations, it was set for like a 16-bit, I think, which I think this is. It's like a 1648. And this was a 24 and 192,000 kilohertz. So that's like studio. Well, that's like what's considered studio quality, technically. Even though it's not a Focusrite, it's just kind of like a. I don't know. It's called Tonor. Some people say they make really nice mics for money. Some people say they're garbage. So people say that their Shure SM7B copy is actually really nice. It's like $50, and it's USB and XLR. That's what I've actually got down there. It's not a Tonor mic, but it's one that's like that. It's one of those generic, Shure SM7B copies, kind of like the Fifine or F-Fine or Fifine or whatever the fuck. I don't know why they gotta make shit. You can't even fucking pronounce it. The name on that mic, I can't pronounce that motherfucker either. But they said that one actually was great. Every review's been really good for it, and they said that it's worth a lot more than it shows. I don't really particularly care for the way it sounds through this. It doesn't sound that bad through that, but it actually does sound pretty good for the guitar. At least for what I could hear coming through. I turn it a little bit, and it's really. That's like my generic ZZ Top riff. It's not actually the right riff. It's similar. It's like when I was trying to figure out the song, I kind of got that stuck in my head. I'm not even sure what the real riff is. I know it's in the wrong key. I thought it was kind of like a more extended version of That's what I thought it was. It was kind of based in that. It says wrong. My head's like, no, that's not it. But yeah, that's how you learn stuff. You just kind of reach out there to see if you could kind of piece it, figure Billy Gibbons would totally do some muddy shit because Jesus Young Love Chicago, that sounds like it's kind of like homage to Muddy Waters. So, all right, I'm gonna get out of here. Turn on the fans. I'm gonna go down. So what do we like? Do we like the warm? Is that warm or is that? I'm not sure. See, that's too much. See, I like the background to be darker. It's like I don't mind. It's like I want the lights to really show through on that, but I don't want. See, what I need to do is I need to rig up something where I can mount those lights right there at the baseboard and have them shine straight up. Or I could have them, I don't know, I could rig some shit up that's really crazy. I could make like an attachment for the desk, but it shit gets fuck crazy. Like, it's like, no, I can't do that. All right. Say hi to Mom and them for me. Love y'all. Bye.